Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Yeah, it actually ended up being way better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Wait. They're calling it the what? You're serious. All right. Well, I'm gonna need to call you back. Yeah. While I don't necessarily agree with this paddle's name, I can't deny that it's one of the easiest to recommend to players of all skill levels, which is kind of a rare quality. And I'll explain a bit more. What's going on, y'all? It's Rob for the Pickleball Tech Dude, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about a paddle that absolutely smashed my expectations, which almost never happens. This is the Enhanced Gen 4.5, and you probably have two questions right off the bat. Number one, is this actually a Gen 4.5 paddle? No, I would not classify it that way. And number two, is Enhanced Pickleball a new player in the space? And the answer is yes and no. While yes, they are new to making paddles, Enhanced Pickleball is actually the brainchild of Connor Hance and Drew Baird, who have been making instructional content on how to get better at pickleball on YouTube for quite some time and have amassed 272,000 subscribers on YouTube. The Enhanced Gen 4.5 went live for sales this past weekend for $175 retail. My discount code RAFA takes off $20 at checkout. As a brief disclosure, Enhanced Pickleball did not pay me or otherwise incentivize me to do this review, but if you do use my discount code, it does provide me a small kickback that just allows me to continue making these kinds of videos. This is the third paddle that Enhance is bringing to market, but after hitting the Gen 4.5, I actually think it's a paddle that deserves praise and more credit than some people might give it. That fact isn't super apparent based on the specs though. If we look at them in full, on paper, there's nothing that sticks out as overly bad, which is somewhat encouraging, but there's nothing that really stands out either. What actually does stick out though is the construction style. The Gen 4.5 is an elongated paddle with a raw carbon fiber face. However, it's constructed with a 100% EPP foam core, and it differentiates itself from everything else in the market with the small teardrop-shaped cutouts that it has inside. The cutout style employed in the Gen 4.5 is an industry first in two different ways. The first is the shape, as we are used to seeing the longer channel cutouts and more ovally shapes in the carbon true foams, as well as perfectly circular holes in the discontinued Vatic Pro V cores and Body Helix Flick F1s. And the second way is that in all three of the paddles I just mentioned, all holes go completely through the core, versus with the Gen 4.5, the holes are actually separated on either side of the core by a thin layer of continuous EPP. Now with all of that said, I'm sure you're wondering, how does a paddle that looks normal on the outside and ends up being a little weird on the inside, made by a couple of YouTubers who just do instructional content, actually play? Well, let me show you. Awesome. Well, I hope that tells you everything you need to know about how the Enhanced Gen 4.5 plays. While that's a name I'm never going to be on board with, I can't deny that this paddle has a ball feel that leans maybe 60% muted, but is still responsive enough for the average player to feel very comfortable with. It also, quite simply, has a much larger sweet spot that allows that paddle to be picked up and played with stock by players of all different levels in my eyes. Essentially, I found myself looking at paddles like the V-Cores or the Flick F1s, which took a lot of what I liked about the Carbon True Foams, dialed the power all the way up to 100, but as a cost, reduced the sweet spots to very small sizes. This paddle, on the other hand, number one, brought back ball feel that a lot more players are familiar with by putting the holes all throughout the face in a similar style to how polypropylene has holes throughout the entire core. Number two, dialed back the power to a level that players at all levels can manage. And number three, and most importantly, maintains the high level of durability that EPP material brings to your paddle core. When a company starts with paddles that are very middle of the road or low tier, it's very rare that they ever come out with something that's actually competitive on the market. So I was very surprised that this paddle is going to end up being one that I'm going to recommend frequently to players of varying different levels. And I think there is a lot that the guys at Enhance have to be proud of, especially at the price that they are doing it. So if you enjoyed this video and made it here to the end, thank you so much for watching and for your support. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below any thoughts you have about this paddle or if you've tried it and what you think about it. And with all that said, I hope you all stay happy and healthy, and of course, out on the courts until the next one. Peace.